Let us begin with this sutra. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhi Dhyanagamyam Bande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaika Natham. Today's topic is a very special topic, because if we understand this, we will get liberation immediately. And what is that topic? Maya. And this is the only one 4-letter word, Maya. That is the cause of the creation, and that is the cause of our all suffering. So the root cause of misery is the Maya. Now friends, you all know, being the students of Vedanta, the Maya is a very interesting subject for the Vedantin, those who practice Vedanta. But those who are following the path of devotion, for them Maya, yes, we are reading Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is considered as the book of love. Bhagavatam is considered as the scripture of the devotees, path of the followers of the devotion. But no, here we will read in the 11th skanda, the 3rd chapter, how this Bhagavata is explaining the Maya. You know, the king of the Videha Nimi, just to remind you and some of the friends who have come new, the king of the Videha Nimi was very happy hearing the reply of the yogi Kavi, one of the brothers, the senior brother of the 9 brothers, Navayogi, and also the Hari. The first brother of the 9 yogi brothers, Kavi, gave reply to kings the question, which is the easiest way to realize God? We have already discussed that. And the second brother of the Navayogis, Hari, he answered the second question of the king, how to recognize a realized soul. These two, question and answer, we have already done. Now the king is going little further and he is asking the cause of all bondages and miseries. And he asked, Parasya Vishno Ishasya Mayinamupi Mohinim Mayam Veditum Ichchamo Bhagavanta Bruvantuna. But then the tradition is, I want to know. In India, we never said like that. We want to know. Though he is asking alone, but he is always putting in this way, we want to know. You know, humbleness. I told you perhaps before, when I first came over here, as usual, I was writing the letter, we like to, then the person who was sitting before me, helping me to type that, he said, no, where is we? You are saying. So I want to say, I want to know, like that. So this is the culture. In our culture, it is always we, the plural, in a humble way. So na means we. So he says, Mayam Veditum Ichchamo Bhagavanta Brabuntu Naha. Naha means we want to know. Bhagavanta, O respected one. Everywhere you will find the Bhagavan, Bhagavanta, like that. When we are respecting someone, we use this word Bhagavan, Bhagavanta. Bhagavanta Brabuntu Naha. O the Master, great Master, please tell us. What about Maya? Mayam Veditum. What is this Maya? So he is asking, Parasya Vishnoho Ishasya, divine power of the Supreme Lord, Mahavishnu. He knows. A person without knowing the basic thing will never can ask this type of question. That is for sure. So when someone is asking about the Maya, he must be knowing what is this Maya, but not very clear about it. So he is asking, so I don't know much about it. Can you please tell me? And what is this Maya? The power of the Supreme Lord. Here in this Bhagavata, the Supreme Lord has been termed as Vishnu. But you know the meaning of the word Vishnu? Vistareti Vishnu. One who is all pervading, that is Vishnu. The Vedantin, they say Brahman, which is constantly increasing and all pervading. That is Brahman. That is consciousness. And the devotees, they term the same thing as Vishnu. And what is this Vishnu? All pervading. And if it is all pervading, how can it have the figure, form? Only to help our mind to concentrate. So that this Lord Vishnu, it is the power of the Lord Vishnu. And he says, Mainamopi Mohinim, and delude the minds of all, deludes the minds of all. The king Nimi, he knows the basic of the Maya, but still he wants to get it completely clear from this Rishi, the yogi. So that's why he is asking, what is this power, the power of God, which is deluding the mind of the all? Now we are entering into a very difficult situation. Because we know the word Maya, we know the activity of the Maya, but there is no one to explain Maya. This is the problem. Just like Brahman. No one can give any definition of the Brahman. We can define Bhagavan, but we cannot define Brahman. So now, to translate this sloka, O honorable teacher, we like to know all about Maya, the divine power of the Supreme Lord, Mahavishnu. See here, if we could say Vishnu, that would be sufficient. But sometimes they will say Mahavishnu, to give emphasis on that. Sometimes if you go to the Hindu temple, they will say not only Prasad, Mahaprasad. What is that Maha? Just to emphasize. But if you go, only Khichudi will be there. But they will say Mahaprasad. The Maha to give the expression. Tantrikas, they say Mahaprasad means with meat. So the Maha, it doesn't mean anything. Maha means to give the emphasis. This is the prasada. So this Mahavishnu. Now the third question was picked up by the third brother of the 9 yogis. His name was Antariksha. Now the Antariksha, he is now giving this answer. What is this answer? It will be very difficult, you know. Even the greatest exponent of the Vedanta, Shankaracharya, he also fumbled, we should say, to define Maya. In his best book, the very good book, Vivekananda, Crest Jewel of Discrimination, he is giving only 2 verses to explain Maya. But Maya is the root cause of all bondages. But whatever the definition Adi Shankaracharya has given is so perfect. And 108 verse of the Vivek Chudamani, if you read the Vivek Chudamani, 108 verse, there in 2 lines, he is giving the wonderful explanation, definition of the Maya. First he says, Abhyakta Namni. It is undifferentiated, Abhyakta. Vyaktya means manifested. Abhyakta, undifferentiated. What is this undifferentiated? You know, particularly those who are studying the Vedanta, you know, all this creation because of the permutation and combination of the 3 gunas. Satya, Raja and Tama. These 3 gunas. Because of the 3 gunas, all these things are happening. This is the only wonderful way of explanation. We are not entering into that. But here it says, Abhyakta Namni, that which is not manifested, but the 3 gunas are there inside. That is Abhyakta and undifferentiated. Paramesha Shakti. It is the power of the Lord, the Supreme Lord. The power of the Supreme Lord. Paramesha Shakti. The Shakti is the power, the capacity through which it works. The God is all powerful. How we will know? If the God cannot transform these, if the God cannot change these, if the God cannot do these, how can he call God? Why should he call him God? He's just like us. God must be having all power. Then only it is God. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, someone was telling, oh, that gentleman, he's the Raja. Immediately he said, what is Raja? He's not having any kingdom. He's not having anything. So how can you call him Raja? If you are not having the kingdom, how can you call, people will call you Raja? Raja means the king. The God means, Bhagavan means, he is having 6 powers. 6 powers, that only Bhagavan. We will be explaining about the Bhagavan in details. I think after a few days I will go to, what is that place? Madison I will go. If you are interested to know about Bhagavan, you have to follow me. Anyway, so this Bhagavan, he is all powerful. The Paramesha, Parama Isha. Isha means the God. Again the Parama. Parama means the Maha. This Parama Shakti, Abhyakta Namni, Paramesha Shakti, Anadi. It has no beginning. Why? Because it is along with God. And God has no beginning. So this power of God has also no beginning. Paramesha Shakti Anadi, no beginning. But it is avidya, nescience. This is the nescience, the power of God, of course, but the bad power of God. The bad power of God? The people will wonder, how can this be? God is having bad power? Yeah. God is also having the bad power as he having the good one. So this is the speciality of the Hinduism. They say this bad thing is also belong to God. Now if the God is having those bad qualities, the God is also suffering. Because with the bad qualities we suffer, God is also suffering? No, he is not. Why? This is also answered by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna very nicely. The venom is there in a serpent, but when it is biting, using that venom to some other one, it dies. But that venom which it is containing is not giving any bad effect to that particular serpent. So similarly, God is having the bad quality, that is avidya, nescience. Trigunatmika para, triguna atmika. If you like to know Hinduism, you must understand 2-3 things. One is triguna. This is very important. Maya. This is very important. Parameshwara and the Bhagavan, etc. This Triguna is the 3 different qualities, Sattva, Raja and Tama. These 3 gunas, and it is supreme. How to understand these? We cannot explain, oh, this is Maya, this is Maya. You have to understand through Karya, Karyanumeya, Sudhi Vaiva Maya, Karyanumeya. As the Karya effect. Karya, Anumeya. Anumeya means inference. Anumana inference. That you can infer through the activity. How? See, when you had a dollar. What is the dollar? It's so valuable. It is written 100, $100. Why? Because someone has signed over it and there is a stamp. So if you take that, anyone will accept it as $100. But that's only a small piece of paper and nothing else. Only one small piece of paper. Why we are accepting that? Karjanumeya. Karya means effect. Anumeya. That proves. We can understand, that proves that the power of the signature. Who has signed in our country? Usually the governor, of the Reserve Bank of India, he signs. That signature is the most powerful. If that is not there, if I sign on that piece of paper, write 100 and send it as $100, will the people accept it? No. Karjanumeya. Through the effect only we can understand. Oh, it is cool. Now, in our country, most of the people in the villages, they don't understand what is AC. So, one of our Vice President Swamiji was visiting one part of Assam. It's a remote place. And I told, see, this is very, very warm, hot. So we have to hire an AC. They told, okay, Swamiji, we will do that. Again, it's a beautiful country. Now they gave the AC without the cooling effect. Only the fan is there. So I went over there and they were excited. Swamiji, we have installed the AC. But it is not cool. Inside the room, it is not cool. No, this is one. In the window, they have fixed it. And there is a fan, it is moving, air is going, but no cooling effect. I told AC means air conditioner, it must give the cooling effect. So I myself went to the shop and told, hey, why you are cheating us? Give us the correct one. Oh, acha, theek hai. It is you. Okay. We never knew this Ramakrishna Mission Swamiji. And that means Ramakrishna Mission Swamis are educated. So they won't. But if someone is coming like that, if you don't know the effect of it, those people, they paid for that. They purchased that, installed that, as because they were not knowing how it works, they were very happy with a false one. So, Karjanumeya, Anumeya, you can imagine, you can understand through the work. Now that is the Karya. Sometimes the small little babies, when they are crying, most of the people, they will say they are crying. Mother will know whether they are hungry, whether they want to change, whether they want this or that. How? The same type of crying. For our ear, it is the crying of the baby. But for the mother, because she knows the change of the sound, and she will understand what to do and what not to do. Karjanumeya, through the karya, through the action, you will understand. Abhyakta Namni, Paramesha Shakti, Anadi, avidya trigunatmika para karyanumeya sudhi aiva maya. Who will understand this? Sudhi, intelligent one. Just I told you about this. An intelligent person will understand what is an AC machine. But an ignorant person, though he went, purchased the AC machine, installed the AC machine, but couldn't recognize that this is not AC machine. So how you will understand this is Maya? Not all. Only intelligent person will understand. Sudhi aiva Maya. Only intelligent person will understand. Now the last word, Yaya, from where Jagat, this universe, Sarvam Idam Prasuvate. Prasuvate, it is projected, not produced, projected, not created, projected. I am giving the emphasis on the word projected. So it says that it is projected. The intelligent people can understand this Maya. It is the knee science, and from its effect we understand everything is projected. Prasuvati. Now this I was giving the definition of Shankaracharya, and he is the exponent of the Vedanta. And what he said about Maya, it is not possible to explain Maya. It is the power of God, and it is from the beginning less. It is beginning less because it is along with the God which is beginning less. We cannot finalize, we cannot pinpoint, oh, this is the time when God was created. No, it is beginning less. Maya is also being the power of God, beginning less. But we can understand Maya, the power of God which binds through the effect. How it is? Now the Antariksha, the third brother, he started explaining this. Evi bhutani bhutatma mahabhutai mahabhuja sachajya uchavachani adya samatra Atma Pratishidhaye. This is the 11th book, 3rd chapter, 3rd verse of the Bhagavatam, and it says, Evi bhutani bhutatma mahabhutai mahabhuja. O King, the Supreme Being, who is the soul of all, projected. See in the Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, it says projected. Projected all beings, high and low, so that these beings, according to their karma, enjoy or suffer or get liberated. This power is known as Maya. Is there any difference? In the Bhagavatam and also in the Vedanta, when they talk about Maya, the same thing they explain, same way they explain. Hey, it's warm, no? You can put on the fan at least. So how good our devotees, you see? No, that's okay. So they won't say anything if it is. They didn't understand And always they say, when a person cannot differentiate the heat and cold, he is a liberated soul. So I am not liberated, but you all. He says that through the karma only you can understand. And what are the karmas? Friends, you must read these few slokas, few verses. In the Bhagavata, from 11th skanda, third chapter, sloka from 3 to 16, only this much, 3 to 16. And it gave I am not going to read the whole slokas and the meaning, I will just give the gist of it, but how wonderfully it explained whole thing and how we are bound by this. It says, in the 4th verse itself it says, bodies of the being were made of 5 elements. And what are the 5 elements? Shiti, Apa, Teja, Maruta and Bhoma. These are the 5 elements, the Sanskrit word. Shiti means the earth. Apa means the water. Teja means the fire. Maruta means the air. And Vyoma means the earth. If you notice how the Hindu temple, the priests are doing the arati, you will find these 5 things. In the houses also, the mothers, they do the arati with these 5 things. And we are having, if you want to purchase, we are having here, because in America it is very difficult to get all these 5 things if you are interested to do arati in the houses. Shiti means the earth. What is this earth? Earth means the flower. Flower is the symbol of the earth. Apa is water. In the conch shell there is water. Then Teja, the fire. You will see the Pancha Pradipa or one Pradipa. Then Maruta is air. Then they will be fanning. And the Bhoma, a piece of cloth, they will be doing like this. Maruta, the Bhoma. Bhoma means the space, sky, ether. So naturally, these 5. With these 5, he created the body. This physical body was created. And then, being created that, he entered into them by virtue of his power. That Creator, the Supreme God, the Supreme Being, the pure consciousness, as if entered into it. And diversifying himself as the mind and 10 senses. Now, why it says that it entered into it? Entered into it because without that, what is this body? Body is made of flesh, bone, and all those things. So it is not conscious. But the other thing, that means the mind and the senses, are conscious, particularly the mind. So how the consciousness can be with the inner thing? So as if it entered into it. When it entered into it, then Pancha Karmendriya and Pancha Jnanendriya, 5 senses of action and 5 senses of knowledge. Karmendriya and Jnanendriya. What are the Jnanendriyas? Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jivha and Tak. So these are the 5 Jnanendriyas. Indriya means the senses. Jnana means it gives knowledge. It brings knowledge. The eye goes out and sees a beautiful butterfly and brings the knowledge. And the ear, it hears the beautiful music, the tune of a flute. And that also brings the knowledge. The touch and taste, everything brings the knowledge. So, Jnana Indriya. Jnana means knowledge, Indriya means the senses, the 5 senses bringing the knowledge. And Karma Indriya, action, hands, feet and other 3. So these 5, they are doing the action. Who created it? Friends, I will request you to understand these very clearly. First, body was created by God. God's power. What is that? Maya. This body. The mind and the senses were created by God's power. and it is almost the God himself entered into it. And then it provides the jiva with the object of enjoyment. Not only that, look at it. This is so difficult. The God created our bodies, God created our senses, and not only that, to tempt us, He created all these objects so that the being, the jivas, they enjoy and suffer. This is really not good. If we could meet God, we could ask Him, what is it? Why the first thing you have created, and then when you have created it is okay, then you have created the object, and after creating the object, it is like a diabetic person is having only sweets before him to eat. He cannot, doctor is there standing, you cannot eat the sweets, and he has no other things to eat, so what to do? It's like that. God created the body, God created the mind, God created the sense object, God created the objects to enjoy and also to suffer. You can eat, but you will suffer. Who did it? God. And then this is third and fourth, from 5th to 15, from 5 verse to 15 it goes on, the jiva starts thinking that it is the master of the body and the mind. From here begins the problem. Before that it was all right. But the moment we start thinking that we are the body and the mind, so the ego starts functioning. So from here, the struggle for spiritual life begins. The moment we understand this body and the mind, it is not me, then why should I think in this way and do in this way? Obviously, it will be so easy for us to get the liberation. But no, God has made it in such a way, we start thinking, this is my body, this is my mind, and the ego is terrible. Sometimes ego, because of the family tradition. Oh, do you have family? This was my family, this is my family. Then the ego of my society, the ego of the country, the ego one after another, one after another. Will you believe? I went to the villages of Assam, then I told that they are all poor people, uneducated people, all laborers of the tea garden. Then when I told, can you please bring water from him? No, I cannot. Why? No, he is lower than me. I am born in this race and they are born in that race. They are lower than me, us, so I am not going to take water from them. Look at it. I was wondering, both are uneducated, both are poor, both are the ordinary laborer of the tea garden, but look at this ego. And somehow someone told him you are higher than him, like this. This is the trouble, the ego. I am so and so, I am so and so, I am so and so. So this is, they say, the jivas start thinking that it is the master of the body and the mind and get attached to and suffer. And then goes on traveling from one birth to another birth. And this is Maya. Now the Navayogis, one of the Navayogis who is answering, his name is Antariksha. Now Antariksha is answering, what is Maya? The question asked by the king Nimi. Nimi is the king of the kingdom Videha. So when he is answering in this way. The supreme power God, He has created this world with His own power, that is Maya. The supreme power God created the body and the mind and the senses and the sense objects. This is Maya. The supreme power God has given the attachment of the jivas to these sense objects, attachment and ego. to the body and the mind. This is Maya. And result of this karma, jiva goes on suffering, a little bit of enjoying and suffering again and again in different birth. This is Maya. Till the dissolution, jiva goes on in the circle of birth and death, and this is Maya. Dissolution is also the Maya. Through the terrific drought now, from 9 to 15 verse, clearly describing in the Bhagavatam how the destruction will come, dissolution will come. The first, the people are so scared about the environment, they are very correct. Of course, they won't be able to save it. Why? The destruction comes from drought. Here in the Bhagavata, it is verse 9 to 15. It goes on describing how the destruction will come, dissolution will come. Slowly, there will be no water. And one after another, the land, all will be without water. The drought will come, terrible drought. And not only that, along with the drought, as they call in the Bible, hellfire, the fire will come and burn the whole land and the beach. Terrible suffering. Whoever will survive, they will suffer. The terrible suffering. In the Christian tradition, they say hellfire. The same way it says, from the lowest part of the earth will come the fire that will burn the whole and dissolve everything, all this creation. And there will be no rain, there will be nothing. And the God will dissolve it completely. God created, God destroyed it. God was holding it and God destroyed it. Everything is Maya. Now the question is, why we are, those who are trying to understand the spirituality, those who are trying to follow the religion, and they are intelligent people. Ordinary people will never do it. Ordinary people are just like any other being. They are concerned with the body, they are concerned about the food, they are concerned about little comfort and all that and nothing else. Only intelligent people start thinking, what is this life for? I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am an administrator, I am so and so, I am having so many things. But still they will think, oh, why? After this what? When the more and more the experience comes, the age comes, we start feeling pain all over the body, we start losing the control over the senses, we start thinking, why all these things? That is the main thing. So from the beginning itself, if we can understand all these things that we see is nothing but the Maya, and we have to get out of it. Now friends, this why this discussion is going on, this Maya? Maya is something which cannot be described. Maya is something which we have to understand through the effect of the work. And Maya is that, according to the Bhagavata, everything except God. Everything except God is Maya and nothing else. Then let us go back to the beginning and analyze it. Who created the jivas? Who created the beings? God. Out of what He created? Out of Himself? Out of God? And what He created? The body. What He created? The mind. What He created? The senses. What He created? The objects. And also the attachment to the object was created by Him. Then He suddenly separated us from Him. Everything He gave, and then He separated us from Him, and we are thinking that we are the being we have done. So if we only understand this, only if we understand this much, that will be sufficient to realize God, to understand this. So Vedanta says realization of the self, and the devotion says realization of God. This is the difference. The devotees, they say the realization of the God, and the Vedanta, the knowledge part of it, says realization of the self. What the realization? Only to understand this. I am not this, that's all. Then what I am? If I am not this body because it is made of God, if I am not the mind because it is made of God, if I am not the senses because it is made of God, if I am not the objects because it is made of God, then what is me then? Who can answer? I. Everybody will say. Even the child is telling I. So the mother took him out. This I, from there, or till death we go on telling I. Just close your eyes and just try to find out who is this I. We won't be able to find it out. Only one thing God has given, and He is just separated from that and sitting and enjoying. What is that? See, the rule of the game created by some people, and the measurement of the field also created by some people. Then the ball with which it should be, the game should play, that is also. Then they have selected some of the players. And then they told, go and play over there, and then they will go and sit in one place and enjoy the game. And these players, they are playing so hard only to get some number and maybe some of the appreciation. That's all. We are just like that. Just like that, God created this whole universe. God created this body, the mind, the senses, the sense objects, and also the eye sense to enjoy. Then He is sitting somewhere and enjoying, that we are either enjoying or suffering. If we can understand this much, we will simply say enough is enough, we are not going to play. Friends, many of you Indians, you know the story that Ma Durga, she wanted a competition between her two sons, Kartikeya and Ganesha. And Ma told, and both of the sons, they wanted to get that one beautiful garland was there. Both of them, they wanted that garland. Mother told, I can give. Who will go and circle the whole universe and come first to me? Kartikeya was very happy. He told, first, my elder brother Ganesha is a heavy body and he cannot run. And second, his carrier is only a mouse, so he won't be able to. And my carrier is a peacock, is a fast runner, and he can fly. So he said, okay, I accept the challenge. And immediately he started. And what the Ganesha did? Ganesha circled the mother and sat on her lap. That's all. Never moved anywhere. When Kartikeya came back and he found that this the garland is already given to Ganesha. So Kartikeya complained to the mother, Mother, what is it? He has not even started from here. I noticed he has not gone anywhere. The mother told, because he understood the truth. All this universe is nothing but me, circling me as if circling the universe. Friends, today's discussion gives us this knowledge. And what is Maya? Everything except the God. And what is Maya? The power of God. And what the power of God has done? He has created the universe including us. Only one thing that is creating the problem, that is the ego. I. Those who have gone through the books of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he pinpointed this problem. He said in his Bengali, Ami mole guchibe janjal. When the I, the ego is removed, then all problems are solved. But these won't go. This is the problem. Only to remove this I, so many different types of practices have come. Spiritual practices, spiritual austerities. The devotees, they are coming and praying to the God, oh please, please remove my ego. And they say, it is not me, it is you, thou. It is not me. Exactly opposite. The man of knowledge will say, I am the supreme being, but I am not the body, I am not the mind. Shivoham. I am not the intellect, I am not the senses, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the Shiva, I am the Shiva. And the Karmi will say, I am very humble and I like to serve all beings who are nothing but the manifestation of the same God. And this way, all devotees, different way, they are trying to approach God. And the God is nothing but that consciousness who has created this. So we have to understand this Maya and we have to get ourselves free. So this here, Esha Maya Bhagavatam Sargasthitantakarini Trivarna Varnita Stavi Kim Bhuya Sotumichami. Here again it says, such is the Lord's Maya. Concluding, from the 3rd to 16, he said all this about Maya. And concluding in a very simple way, what is this Maya? It says, such is the Lord's Maya, the cause of creation, preservation and dissolution, having its three aspects of Sattva, Raja and Tama. Friends, when we are reading the Bhagavatam, the meaning, some of that our friends, they say, why in the Vedanta society you are giving classes on Bhagavata? Why some of the devotees? So, because the Bhagavata means only there will be kirtana, there will be dances, there will be different type of marking, there will be puja. Of course that is Bhagavatam, Bhagavata study. But Bhagavata is the source of knowledge. And Bhagavata, that knowledge soaked in the syrup of devotion. In the whole book, we find only the 10th chapter, which is the biography, the life of Sri Krishna. And all the chapter speaks about the knowledge. Slowly we'll come to those parts where Kapila is conversation with her mother, Devavati. And also the Krishna's friend, Uddhava, is having the conversation with the Krishna, Uddhava Gita, the beautiful book of knowledges, all sorts of knowledges in the Bhagavata. Here today, when we get the answer of that Antariksha about the Maya, he concludes, Esha Maya Bhagavatam. This is the power of the Supreme God. Shargasti Attantakarini Trivarna Varnita Stavi. I am describing all this. What is this? Sattva, Raja and Tama. Now, Kim Bhuya Srotumichasi. Anything else you like to listen about it? He is asking. The King Nimi is a very intelligent person. When he said, do you like to hear anything about this? Immediately he is asking question. In a great humbleness, King Nimi is asking, can you please tell me, any one of you, you just said that Maya can be understood by the intelligent people. Why? Because you have to understand Maya through the work, through the effect. Ordinary people cannot understand. Can you please tell me how the ordinary people will understand Maya and get liberation? That is the question of the Nimi, and the next brother will come up to give the answer, but this we will discuss in the next Sunday. So, how an ordinary person can go beyond Maya, understand Maya? So this is the question. We will understand it afterwards. Now let us conclude with this verse. Please repeat after me. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistabai Vedai Sangha Padakrama Upanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Sura Asuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.